Hello. Hello. Okay, cool. What is up? It is day 3 of learning 1000 Hanzi. It's taking me about 2 hours every day, but luckily I did actually wake up early today. So this might be the day where we get it all done by noon, and then we can go get bubble tea. It's guilt-free the rest of the day. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Sorry it's not at 9 o'clock. I'm working on it. Let's go, boy. Oh, I forgot to pop out the Twitch chat just in case anyone does come along. Cool. And just let me check my audio is on. It looks like it's all working, but let's see what I'm saying on the internet. Yeah, all good. Okay, we're back into it. 60 reviews today, so that's good. It sort of sounds like there's about 30 newish words, or words I've forgotten. So that's pretty good, considering I haven't touched it for like 6 months, and also never done it in Mandarin. Bite, sting. The mouth bites the nail, the mouth of the insect bites the nail, or whatever it was. Not too happy with this one, because it's completely different in Chinese, but oh well. This was tip, right? Or tapered edge or something like that, going from big to small. Easy peasy. Many can. Few will. I don't know. Many can. Can't remember. Saying the same. It's not can. I even wrote it as can on there instead. That's no good. Saying the same phrase many times is enough. 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 That feels kind of crazy to say. Hopefully that sticks again. Women, few women are as wonderful as Georgina. This is a ray of light, literally like a photon or a photon beam. This was overly, I think. Peel, sort of, what was it? There was something about like sparks, like trying to peel an orange and sparks come off. Few, right. Keep your eye on a few things. In Japanese, I call this like focus, but I'm not sure that's right here. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. Hey, thanks for joining the chat. Yes, I am doing the Heisig method. I've done it before for kanji, so I've literally got like pages and pages of kanji, which is causing some problems now. As I refresh through the Hanzi, it seems like maybe like 80% of them are sort of the same as, the same meanings as they were. And I just thought I'd stream it so that, people join in, maybe they'll give me better stories for some of the later ones or correct me. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going pretty well, I would say, and I'm trying to do 100 new ones a day. Yeah, sorry, it looks pretty weird when I'm just talking it, but yeah, I have like a story associated with each of them, and luckily I did it all before for the kanji, so I have like a whole deck of like 2,000 of them, and I use this site called Kanji Kohi that has these like crowdsourced stories as well, and I usually find that they sort of correct the mnemonics that are given are sometimes wrong. I mean, in this deck, even like some of the words are just the actual keywords they've chosen are so far from any of the meanings I can find on dictionaries that I really have to like double check a lot of them anyway. So for this one, it was a group of states surrounded by water as a continent. And then I do write them as well. I'm not actually sure if it makes any difference, but I feel like it sort of gives me like visual progress to sort of, I see a new one, I write it 5 times, I repeat the story, and then every time I review it, I write it again and repeat the story. And I just found that was quite useful. I mean, I lived in Japan last year and I had to write, you have to write your address like every time you check into a hotel and all sorts of other stuff. So it was useful to be able to write with reasonable speed anyway. How did you find the stream, if you don't mind me asking? There's not many people come on. I mean, 3 or 4 a day, but it has started maybe from the Discord. This one, Japanese means open sea, which is easy to remember. The middle of water. It's also the Oki in Okinawa. But in Chinese, what does it mean? Oh, cool. I'm glad that Twitch is actually recommending that. I thought I'd chance it. Water middle. Water middle. Rinse your middle with water drops. Rinse your middle with water drops. Yeah, so I'm having a bit of trouble sort of forgetting the Japanese ones, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for too long. I'm not really actively studying Japanese anymore. It just sort of lingers in there. Rinse your middle with water drops. Ah, interesting. Is that the Heisig read the Hanzi books, or is that another one? Simplified Hanzi. Yeah, I'm doing traditional because I'm moving to Taiwan in a few months, and I heard that that's what you're supposed to. Oh yeah, it's Heisig. I think these are great. I think sometimes it's a bit dated, but I do think that to get a system from something like this and build it up, it just makes so much sense to me. And again, it really worked for Japanese, so I'm hoping that it'll be a sort of quick translation over to Hanzi, because I think it's the most sort of bang for your buck. Like I moved to Japan last year, and you could sort of, it made it so I could actually read the signs when I was driving and stuff like that. That's true. Yeah, that's true about the simplified. It took me ages. I literally just found this deck on Anki like yesterday, and I've been looking for maybe 2 months for sort of a mnemonic deck of traditional Hanzi. And I mean, for the last 2 months, I was learning simplified anyway, so that wasn't really annoying. This one is juice. In Japanese, it's soup. So I always remember it as like water with 10 different ingredients in it, which happily works for juice and soup. But I had to try and bring in sort of a colorful, something more visual, because for me, this means miso soup, basically. But again, I'm glad that some of those are like immediately unlearning or even branching, because I've got both of them in there. Water in a meadow. I call this bit on the right meadow because that's what it means in Japanese, but it doesn't mean that in Mandarin. What is it? Cause or something like that? Yeah. And I tried to put that Mandarin keyword in as well as the Japanese one and just use that as a radical. Dirt. Cause. So is it level? Make even or something? Uniform? Equal. Equal soil is equal to leveled ground. Summon the sun. Summon sun heat. Summon sun fire. Illuminate. Summon the sun's fire to illuminate our homes. So how long have you been learning Hanzi then, if you've done book 1 and book 2? I do find it, you know, people get annoyed sometimes when you talk about those books, but I do find it odd that, if you were in China or Taiwan and you went to school, they probably just make you do the same thing, but with less of a focus on radicals anyway. Right, this is Dawn, I think. This one on the right is a new one for me, but that apparently is most famously used for Yao, I think a famous emperor. So I make him part of this. That's a new one. Fire Yao. Fire Yao. Oh, nice. I always find it really impressive when anyone can learn any language to any degree. Yeah. Oh, you didn't stop Anki reps. Well done. Sometimes that's the only way I know I'm on holiday, when I actually stop doing Yankee repetitions. I can't remember what this is, but I've got fire and Yao on the right. Roasting. Yes, this is used when someone has like a fever or is hot, but also used for sort of cooking some food, it seems. So I tried to sort of get both of those. I guess the fire should be a giveaway. Yao loves things to be hot roasted food and have a high fever. Black fortune teller. Fortune teller can spot blackness in anyone's soul. Fortune teller can spot blackness in anyone's soul. A fortune teller can spot blackness in anyone's soul. A fortune teller can spot blackness in anyone's soul. So do you have a mnemonic or keyword for each of these, or are you at the stage where you can already, read them and see the keywords and stuff like that? Water, same, cave, esteemed, what's this? When you build a house, you begin with the, what is this, finish? I'm building a house, start at the bottom and then finish by sticking a roof on top. Savings is money that you keep in your house instead of spending on the street. Nighttime. Burn a candle in my house through the night. Burn a candle in my house throughout the night. Burn a candle in my house throughout the night. Burn a candle in my house throughout the night. Pierce. In my house. Reality cannot pierce the walls of my house. Yeah, I find that's what happens with these. Like, they start with a story and then they sort of imprint and it reaches a point where I just stare at it. Like, I know this one is Proclaim, but I couldn't remember the story. And then eventually, as soon as I know like at least one reading, I don't know if Mandarin has multiple readings for the same characters. I haven't got that far, but in Japanese, there'll be one reading that you see all the time, like Watashi or something like that, and they just completely like disassociate from the mnemonic anyway. So I find it strange that people complain it's not a good way of learning them. But I could see how it's a crutch, I guess. Mail. The house has a strange sign reading mail. Strange house has a sign reading mail. Village. Oh, great. That's really good news for Mandarin then, because that was the most messed up part of Japanese. Just having to know something different for, like, it was almost like you had to read the whole sentence to figure out what the reading was, and they gave you that in the exams as well, actually. If you sat the N, was it NLT? NLT? Can't remember what it's called now. Dim-witted. A new X-Files case, a tree grew and pushed a woman up into a roof. A new X-Files case, a tree grew through a house and pushed a woman up into a roof. A new X-Files case, a tree grew up, pushed a woman into the roof. A new X-Files case. Yeah, I've heard that. I never noticed that. Well, it definitely did happen in Japanese as well, where like if it had the same sort of the same part like fire or something, the word would sound the same sometimes. But I never got into it enough to recognize that hunch. But yeah, I've heard that. And again, that's one of the reasons people say you shouldn't do this. But I just think that this gives people such like a radical foundation that I don't know, like people always say learn it from context, and I don't understand how you could be shown like some of these are so complicated. I don't see how people could retain it. Yeah. Well, I think you just get that with dialects, right? Like if it sounds like every million people or so in China are speaking basically a different dialect. So I'm not surprised that there's different localized or globalized ways of saying the same thing. And then Japan just somehow decided to take all of them over periods of time, it seemed. Old, flesh, ancient, zombie, reckless, recklessly. The reckless zombies eat old flesh, and the zombies are old fleshy things. Mist and moons. The mist, a new dynasty begins. Yeah, mist rolls in under the moonlight of a new dynasty. That's why I think I see this as like Lego. Like my goal isn't to like just use this and never look at anything. Yeah, I mean what I'm doing here is my goal is to sort of learn 1,000 of these in like 10 days and just get straight into like that Anki rep stage. Because I've done it before where I've learned like, I've tried to be consistent and I would go like, let's do 10 new ones a day. And then, in 8 months or whatever, I'll have learned the 2000 high school kanji for Japanese. And what happens is obviously you stay consistent, but then you end up with like 200 reviews a day and 10 new ones a day, and you're just doing it so slow. So my plan here is like blitz it all out. I know by the end there's probably going to be like 300, 400 reviews a day and then 100 new kanji a day. But realistically, that's going to take me like 3 hours a day. And then if I can do that, maybe I'll get to 1,000 new cards learned, and then take a little break and bring those reviews down a bit and get normal again. But I mean, this feels pretty. I was going to say sustainable, but I'm spending like 2 hours a day doing this. But it's quite. I don't know. Weirdly, I find this way of studying quite relaxing. Like nothing in the real world is as easy as go learn 1,000 of something, right? At work, they don't just make you memorize 1,000 of something. So maybe it's the schoolboy in me. Flesh. Ordinary? No, muscles. Muscles of my flesh ripple in the wind. The chest. Shellfish gets sacked with magic wand. Yeah, I guess it's like if you stop doing the new cards, then you kind of. I often find, it doesn't really get much better, like for a few days when you have too many reps. But again, I was used to like last year, I was doing 200 kanji flashcards a day while still learning new ones. And I flip them as well. So I would go from like keyword to kanji as well as kanji to keyword. Not sure why I did that. I guess you sort of think like you'd hope it would be, it would work both ways, but you rarely see the keyword. But I just think it's got to help with retention. So I had like 5,000 of these cards. But it's always nice at the start anyway. What is this? Nail head? Or is it fourth head? Four heads form the crest of Mount Rushmore. Sun. Do you use Discord or anything? Because there's really good language learning Discord for Mandarin if you're into that kind of stuff. Summon the sun. Summon the sun to do what? To show something clearly. Yeah. Mouth, even few words coming out of your mouth can still be noisy. Maybe we're in the same one. I'm hesitant to show it. You in this one? The like Reddit Chinese language is quite good. There's a lot of quizzes and stuff in there. And I'm talking in the learning discussion quite a lot about the read the kanji method and stuff like that recently, if you're into that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what it's for. I mean, I went there because I was trying to find, there's got to be something better than the book. And it's annoying because in like, I guess the same reason you said there's more simple Hanzi than traditional Hanzi learning resources. But I just find that like there's so much more cool Japanese learning resources than there are Mandarin learning resources. I don't know if that's because all the nerds like Japanese a bit more. But yeah, there's so many like really high quality apps and quiz systems and blog posts and entire like language learning blogs that I'm just really struggling to find from Mandarin. And when I go into this Mandarin group, they don't really, I don't know, they just poo-poo this, whereas I feel like a lot of Japanese language learning people will poo-poo this method as well, but they'll also link like 10 amazing websites. What's the Refold Mandarin Discord? I've not heard of that. I could do with a simpler Discord because I just find it so confusing. Straight. 10 IS check you do the extra straight line. A good woman looks after her child. A big strange can. I request a single grain of rice. I can agree with that now. I can't remember what else I went to Malta the other day and I thought, I'll learn some Maltese, just to say like thank you and excuse me and ask for the bill and stuff like that in restaurants. And I couldn't believe that there was, Duolingo didn't have a course. I couldn't really find like anything online. Like none of these modern language learning apps have anything for it. But Duolingo's got like Klingon and like pirate vocab and stuff like that. I just thought it was crazy that like, that's something that 500,000 people must speak or something. Yeah, exactly. I think it must be, there's a lot of web developers that like Japanese culture, and then from there they all try and quit their day jobs by making some Japanese company, or maybe try to get a visa. I don't know. It's a good idea. I don't blame them. Petition the head in the meadow. Change that one from wish to petition. Yeah, that as well. I mean, there's a whole genre of cartoons that basically only come out of Japan. I always say to people out there that, like, 10% of all the tourists that are here because they watched either like Evangelion or some Studio Ghibli movie, and they'll sacrifice everything they can to see anything related to those two things. And you see now is like there's like a Ghibli museum, there's a Ghibli theme park now, and like people would like book their whole trips around it. They would wake up at like 6 a.m. 3 months before that day to make sure they get the tickets, and the museum kind of sucks anyway. Like it's nice to see, but maybe the park will be what people think the museum will be, basically. Uh, Cores. The cliff begins to crumble, caused by all the small white flower roots. Water, eternity. You swim in the waterfall, eternity. Situation, condition. My elder brother's condition is a wet one. My elder brother doesn't cope well with wet situations. Water, old. Flesh, there is a zombie at the bottom of the lake. Flesh, dirt. Flesh, dirt, moon dirt. My belly is full of moon dirt. Dirt. Truth. I bury the truth. I inlay the truth. Truth. Laid in the ground is the truth. Yeah, that's true. I've lived in England for the last sort of 10 years, and I've never met a Japanese speaker here. But I've had neighbors that speak Mandarin. Seal, ivy, measurement. Measurement, or the Chinese inch, apparently. And with learning Japanese, I did this for 2000 kanji. I had quite a big vocab list. You could definitely read some stuff, but I wasn't very structured. I sort of did the kanji 2000 deck, and then there's like a core vocab 2000 deck, and I must have only done like a quarter of that. But I did a lot because I lived there for a year. I worked in like hotels and stuff like that, so I'd done I worked at a hotel check-in for 6 weeks once, and that was entirely in Japanese. But it was more. I find that like if you want functionality instead of fluency, right, you just learn vocab and sort of question words and pronouns and stuff like that. So it doesn't really matter. It's not impressive, but in a bar you can say me new come Japan 6 months behind, go England 6 months ahead. You don't have to say it perfectly. And I think Japan is quite unique in that if you talk to them in that style, they're usually quite grateful. And, a certain percentage of them are just very excited to talk to someone that's not from Japan. Whereas, in England, if you come up to someone in a bar and you start talking like that, you'll sort of get a cold shoulder very quickly, and it's quite sad. But yeah, they were really nice out there, and I'm hoping Mandarin is the same. But I've heard in Taiwan most people just speak English anyway, so we'll see. But I think personally, I think this is one of the best things to do in life. I do web development normally, and I find it really stressful when you're sort of coding something really technical. But then like my problems in the real world were, how do I order a glass of water at a restaurant because I'm thirsty, and trying to like figure out how to do that. Those kind of challenges, they're so simple, but they meant so much more to me than like making some website or fixing some like login bug or something. And I always find it annoying that, that makes the money, but this is like more human. Like I would never work hotel check-in in England, but in Japan it had some novelty, and it felt like I was learning something. And some people would check in and they would say, "Are you from England? Can I come ask you some questions after I've checked into the room?" And they would come back down and they would like just sit there for like 2 hours asking, what's London like? Where should I go? I like Harry Potter. Where can I see Harry Potter things? And it was just like the novelty of it was so much more charming, I suppose. Mouth ivy. Put poison ivy in your mouth. Something happens. Oh yeah. I haven't seen this one in Japanese. Put poison ivy in my mouth and go where? Apparently this is used for the sound a baby makes when it's crying. So put poison ivy in my mouth and cry like a baby. Maybe I'll put that in. It might be easier to just remember that as crying like a baby, to be honest. Buddhist temple. Yao. Yao has 3 dirty floors. So that's the beginning, which he walks on with his human legs. Black. No. Li. This one is yonder, but I think we call it orientation now. Turn when putting on a helmet, get the orientation right. Guard is glued to your roof. One day preparing a banquet. Yeah, I mean, it's made a lot of sense grammar-wise from what I've seen. I've already seen that. I would call it the dare particle, but I don't know if that's what it's called. Are they called particles? Yeah. I've seen this one, and this has like an exact, there's a no in Japanese that's exactly the same, and I really like that. This is one that I never use in Japanese as well, so it's nice to actually see it. That's probably the only one I've got. I seem to remember, is Gare particle, or is that just a... Yeah, but I like the way that we've got no pronouns really, or if we do, they're characters. It makes a lot of sense. I always sort of skip grammar in Japanese just because it's like, I feel like other than just sitting and doing a textbook with someone, I can never actually learn it, or it is one that actually just comes in context really easily to me. Oh yeah, I hate conjugation, I hate tenses, so this is perfect. I think isn't there a particle that makes something like, it changes like get to got, so I can't remember what it was right now. Yeah, it does. Yoda style speaking. And there's the whole separate like polite way of speaking as well, which again, if you want fluency, if you want to work in an office, you have to put in way more work than someone who just wants to talk like a baby in a bar. Plants don't become trees straight away. Craft a page from items, paragraphs, it's an item. It's tasks, craft a page. That's the one I was looking for, yes. It's so new to me, seriously. I've like maybe spent less than a month on an app called Hello Chinese, which I'm really enjoying. I've watched one Taiwanese movie, and that might be it. But my goal at the moment is, 100 of these new, do all the reviews for every chapter I've done on Hello Chinese, and that sort of gives me some like grammar pushes. And then what else is it? I've got it all on Notion. It's not too complicated. One lesson from Memrise, and that's it. Pretty easy. Although that does take me like 3 or 4 hours. But I do the app stuff at the gym, so I'm like on a cardio machine while I do it as well. So I feel pretty good about it. Here we go. Many phrases. You say a phrase many times, it's enough. Yeah, I really like that. No, those ones are the same in traditional. It's funny, I've not really figured out like how complicated a traditional one has to be before it actually needs a simplification. Because I know what you mean. That particle does look, it looks so simple, but I guess it's just like a line. I don't really know what it could have been before that. But luckily, the traditional ones seem to be closer to Japanese kanji anyway. So I am having a bit of a better time. A lot of the simplified ones are like shapes I've never seen. You know, I don't have a radical that connects with a lot of the simplified kanji I've seen. Few C, few I. Ah, to be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. To be frugal, only have eyes for a few things. I'm really getting tested now. These are all my tough ones. Rinse the middle with water drops. Roast or fever. Tree. In this X-Files case, a tree grows up through a woman. Mouth. Ivy. Putting poison ivy in my mouth makes me cry like a baby. Not yet. Yeah, it's the same. I'm going to check these. Sometimes when they're exactly the same as the kanji meanings, it confuses me. See, this is one of the 12 earthly branches as well. Wait, what's the difference between an earthly branch and a heavenly stem? You can probably help me with this. So heavenly stems used to be used to mark the 10 days of, I guess, their week. I don't know what you would call it. Earthly branches mark their months, is that right? Or is it the zodiac? Phases of the moon. So they're kind of like moon months, I guess. Jeez. Well, I should have got that from the 12. Okay. Eighth earthly branch, sixth solar month. All right. I'll keep that in. I find that interesting. Not yet. Eighth earthly branch. And I'm never going to forget that, sadly. That one's drilled deep in me. This is, if you have an eye for few things, then you're being frugal. Right, extremity. The last stage. It's kind of close. Final stage. The tree reaches the final stage of its growth. Tree reaches the final stage of its growth. Tree reaches the final stage of its growth. The tree reaches the final stage of its growth. Water, final stage. I would call that a splash. In Japanese, I call this one extremity. And it kind of makes more sense with this. Although I guess that's not the same either here, is it? Foam or suds? The final stage. Water water boiling in a pot is bubbly foam. Final stage of water boiling in a pot is bubbly foam. Final stage of water boiling in a pot is bubbly foam. The final stage of water boiling in a pot is bubbly foam. The final stage of water boiling in a pot is bubbly foam. Mouth. To speak and tea. Yeah. Makes sense. I'd probably rather learn simplified anyway, because simplified sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that simplified one is also a kanji for like saying something, whereas the speak Hanzi doesn't exist as far as I've seen. I can actually check. I've got like this kanji kuhi site. You can just put the kanji in here and it'll show you. So they have like most of the Unicode ones in with a number. You can see it's number 35,000 and it's not in read the kanji. I'm not even sure if it counts as a kanji, but some people have made it this far somehow. Mouth. Mouth, not yet. Taste. Flavor. Okay. Mouth, not yet. Flavor, mouth, not yet. I don't know if you said you've done read the Hanzi 1 and 2. Is there a point where this actually starts to get really hard? Because I remember ones in the kanji where like they had, like 180 that had the same radical of like person on the left. And when it got to that point, they all became very like abstract. Woman not yet, younger sister, awesome. It's kanji like Hanzi like this that make you realize how important radicals are. Tree. Is that daybreak? Tree and daybreak. This is probably going to be some tree. Oh. That's interesting. I do have the simplified ones up here, by the way, if you want to compare them. I'm not sure I've seen this one before. No. Research, investigate. Okay. Oh, they're calling this bookshelf as well, this bottom bit, which I would call daybreak. So I'll keep it as daybreak for now and see how many times it shows up. Scientist investigates the tree which daybreak. Scientist investigates the tree which grows at daybreak. A scientist investigates the tree which grows at daybreak. A scientist investigates the tree which grows at daybreak. A scientist investigates the tree which grows at daybreak. I feel pretty good about that one. After 1,000, you felt comfortable. Yeah, I mean, you can read way before that, right? A lot of these apps have. I'm using that Hello Chinese app, and it has like a sorted. It has like a story section sorted into like the HSK levels, and I found that already I can sort of read the HSK 1 stuff. There's a lot to learn, but it's just like familiar. Basically, it's just verbs. I feel like if you just learn the kanji for like 100 verbs, you'll probably get a lot better very quickly. And then you just sort of drill in grammar basically and read something. The 3K is a scary a scary goal. Like this deck is 3K, and I just 3,000. I mean, this last one is a hibiscus, so I feel like they can't be that useful by the end. But oh god, I've only done 6. Are you kidding? Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I feel like if you learn how to say, I, you, he, she, we, they, then you learn like 200 verbs, and you learn how to say like, I like, I don't like, then really that's like your bar chat done, right? I like to go swimming. I I don't swim in England, cold in England. Like you can have a conversation from just sort of 200 verbs, 200 adjectives, no grammar, no Hanzi, but I think it helps. Yeah, I remember. I used to do Spanish. I used to do French. In school, and like I used to have all these like songs I would sing to remember like the verb endings for past participle or whatever, and past passive, and it's just crazy. Like I'm so glad that that didn't really exist in Japanese. It was just you were learning like grammar structures, I guess. But investigate water sediment. Investigate the sediment at the bottom of your water. Investigate the sediment at the bottom of your water. I'm probably going to forget that one. Investigate the sediment at the bottom of your water. Investigate the sediment at the bottom of your water. Investigate the sediment at the bottom of your water. I'm never sure with these, like, should I use the compound keyword that I have for investigate, or should I really break it down and go, the tree that dawns at daybreak drips sediment into the water around it, or something. Yeah, I love Hello Chinese. I don't know how I found that app, but that is like exceptional. I mean, compared to Duolingo for Mandarin, I cannot believe how much better it is. Like when I first used Duolingo for Japanese and for Mandarin, it's like so overwhelming. I don't know. It's just when you have like new phonetics you're trying to understand, I thought it was crazy. Yeah. Water, 9. Is this dye? Nice. Water from the bark of 9 different trees to make dyes. To make dye, I use water and the bark of 9 different trees. To make dye, I use water and the bark from 9 different trees. Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are like so many of these. I'm just seeing them and I'm saying the Japanese keyword I have, and I literally haven't looked at those keywords since maybe like April, probably before that, like March. So they're like 9 months retained. Like I just find that as long as they're still the same. I mean, maybe it's kind of hard now because I need to like overwrite 10% of them with a completely new meaning. It's going okay. Tree child, plum. Little plum child falls from the tree. I do like ones that are sort of kind of grotesque, body horror-esque. I just thought of a little child growing off a tree. It's quite visceral and scary to me. What's that? Magic wand. Sun. Or is this like no? Fortune. What is that? Fortune teller? But it's got an extra stroke. Yeah, I've seen on like in a lot of the online ones, people write like very explicitly like sexual or racist stories, and I try and avoid that. I'm hoping one day I can use my stories to help somebody else learn. I want to make them a bit nicer than that. This has got an extra stroke then. magic wand does. So it does have to be separate into day, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Table. Okay, magician uses his magic wand. Actually, let's keep that carving. Carves a magic wand. Spends all day carving a magic wand. Carving a table from a tree when he should have used his wand. Yeah, sometimes you just, from the radicals, something really like jumps into your imagination, right? Before I used Hanzi explicitly like this, I tried to do the Mind Palace thing. So for like 20 kanji, I would like walk around like my childhood home. And I did that for like the first 100, and they really stuck. But like this is hard enough making mnemonics, but making them and putting them in places and then practicing walking around those places, like the retention was amazing. But I was basically spending like 5 to 10 minutes on every kanji I came up with, and that is just ridiculously difficult. And to just get a keyword from it instead of the readings and stuff, it just felt a bit crazy. So this feels like a good compromise on that. Magician spends all day carving a magic wand from his table, from a tree when he could have used a magic wand. I'm not feeling good about that one. Flowers, can't stop bullying. Right hand, what is that? Oh, that's a completely different one. As if. Let's see what I put. It's the benefit of having already done it for my kanji. I've got like a saved one. Young girl held. So that means young. This is wakai. As if. It's a bit. Feels a bit. I don't know. Irrelevant, if that makes sense. If. You safe. That's a rough one. I'll take suggestions if you got any. I think it's if you have a lot of places you're familiar with, like if you think about where I don't know, if you had a walk to school or if you have a walk to work or, a bus route you take, it is actually quite easy. It's more like coming up with like 2,000 distinct places to leave somewhere. If you have like a house, you would sort of go like, oh, I walk into the bathroom and it's dark, so I press the light switch, and on the light switch will be a little flower goblin holding a flower in its right hand or something for this one. And you really like squeeze, things can be tiny and things can be huge. You can squeeze a lot into it, and you sort of walk around that space. I had like, as a kid, I'd be in like I'd be in front of my childhood house, and I would just see like the kanji for one, like on the top of the door frame or something like that. And it does kind of work. And I have very visceral like mnemonics of sort of visual things for some of those early like number kanji. But again, they sort of eroded from those visceral visuals into like almost like glowing kanji that you could see in the spaces. It was kind of weird. Um, I don't know what to think about this one. I don't know if you have any ideas. As if is once they stop being like physical things, I find it really difficult to like come up with something that's actually going to make me think of this. I don't know. As if that like it just feels like I would only use this like ironically, like as if that girl is holding flowers in her right hand. Like it doesn't really mean anything. As if that girl is holding flowers in her. I feel like I'll have to come back to this one. As if that girl is holding flowers in her right hand. As if that girl is holding flowers in her right hand. As if that girl is holding flowers in her right hand. Oh wow. That's the one from the book. Jesus. The thing is, like, that's so long, and then I have to remember as if, like I feel like I'm going to remember everything except for the as if. And then again, looking at these sentences here, the only one that I can really even see the meaning of this is this one here where they use it in if. So it feels like to me that that's the only, the regular use is if. And then how do you visualize the word if, I may as well just, I don't know if I should just cheat and go like, in the pollen of the flower is just the word if or something like that. Or like draw a picture. But yeah. Let's go with that and see if anything happens. This is table. I really don't like this one compared to the table in the kanji table. It's so tabley. Oh, well, I should have known. Am I thinking of utensils? This one to me, this is for like knives and forks and stuff like that, but I just love it because it literally looks like a table with four mouths set around it. And I don't know, it's not like a desk table or anything, but it makes me think of like dinner time, which is what I think of when I hear table. Maybe I should Google this table and see what it actually comes up as. Oh. See, now I expect like a dining table like this. But in all the pictures, it seems to be, I don't know if this is maybe referring to like a mahjong board or something instead. And there are some little tables here. But I do find sometimes, with this method, if you trust the keywords, you just end up seeing something crazy. Yeah, I think I tend to visualize them less and see more of like a lot of them are that really stick are like quite sing-songy. And then they sort of, they stick for me. But I mean, this is why I like this, is that, if you go in and you try and use the exact method, the exact stories from the books, you find that sometimes they just don't work. Flower and early sunflower, grass. Grass grows in earlier than flowers. That is a nice one. Grass grows in earlier than flowers. Suffering. This is tolerate. Wide. It's basically the same story I have. Oh, it kind of means the same thing. In mine, it means like tolerant, so I kind of like that lenient is in here. But it does seem to refer to wide as well. Okay. Maybe I should keep it as broad, and then that kind of works as relaxed as well. Duplicate, okay. I keep my mind wide open and tolerant when I see the grass in my house. I like that. I try and avoid references to stuff like that I might have to overwrite later if I do share these with somebody, but I do think that that kind of sticks around. I keep my mind wide open and tolerant when I see grass in the house. I keep my mind wide open and tolerant when I see grass in the house. Yeah, thanks for coming, man. That's, I think you're the first person that's ever come that hasn't been one of my friends. I am trying to do this every morning at 9 a.m., but I'm struggling to wake up at 9 a.m., but that's sort of the goal. So it is going to be roughly daily for the next week anyway. So yeah, have a look. But thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to you. Bye-bye. Oh, it's so sad and quiet now. Keep mind wide open and tolerant. Leaf. Grass day. Big. Graveyard. Yeah, nobody looks about right there. Nobody cuts the grass in our graveyard. What was the graveyard about? I got that in here. Oh. Here we go, graveyard primitive. Graveyard. I can't remember where I came up with that. Nobody cuts the grass in our graveyard. Nobody cuts the grass in our graveyard, so it gets big. Nobody cuts the big grass in our graveyard. Nobody cuts the big grass in our graveyard. Tree, wood, graveyard. Imitate. Wooden furniture in the graveyard is imitation. Water, grave, vague. Sailors die of vague watery death. Desert. Desert. Okay. Desert. That's a weird one to have water in it. Let's just use the. There is no water in the desert graveyard. There is There's no water in the desert graveyard. There is no water in the desert graveyard. There's no water in the desert graveyard. There's no water in the desert graveyard. There is no water in the desert graveyard. Oh my god, I've got 80 to go. When did I start? Oh. 42 minutes ago. But I've done 85. Okay. Graveyard? Graveyard? Nobody cuts the big grass in a graveyard. Nobody cuts the grass in the graveyard. Grave. Soil under a graveyard is full of graves. Ooh, grass. Nice paddy. Seed. Seedlings. I on seedlings. I on grass. Seedlings. Aim. Use your eye to aim field of the seedlings. Use your eye to aim for the field of grass seedlings. Use your eye to aim for the field when you throw grass seedlings. Use your eye to aim for the field when you throw grass seedlings. Desert is a graveyard that lacks water. What is that? Graveyard? Graveyard? Grass. Nobody cuts the grass in the graveyard. North? Is that no? Compare? Important. It's the evil eye. This is the eye of Sauron to me. You can think of this as like an omen. Bad portent makes the hair on your legs stand. Bad portent makes the hair on your legs stand. Tree, portent, peach. Pits of a peach tree look like turtles. Pits of a peach tree look like turtles. Pits of a peach tree looks like turtles. Aim and throw grass seedlings. Dog. This isn't the character I see used for dog in Chinese. Yes. So what is this? Kenshi Radical 94. Oh no. So this is considered one of the radicals, perhaps not used. Let's just call it dog. Oops. Yeah, I don't. It's confusing. They do use it as dog in these sentences anyway, but it's not the word dog I've seen in any apps or anything like that. Oh well, it's easy, that one. Oh yeah. Really, this one's, again, a familiar one that never really stuck around. Understandably remarkable. Particularly, understandably remarkable, outstanding. Yeah, a chihuahua with one human leg is remarkable. 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 A chihuahua with one human leg is remarkable. Chihuahua with one human leg is remarkable. Black dog. Black dog. Wow. The second won't show up. It's basically evil black dog. Black dog waits to kill. Waits silently to kill. This reminds me of Sirius Black in Harry Potter. Black dog. Black dog. Waits silently to kill. The black dog. Waits silently to kill. Black dog. Waits silently to kill. Black dog. Waits silently to kill. Black dog. Silently to kill. The black dog. Waits silently to kill. All sorts of things. Hot dogs. Oh, mouth, mouth, dog. Mouth, mouth, dog. It looks like a crying dog. I like that. It's a crying dog. I feel like I might never forget this one. We'll see. Cry, cry, cry. Oh, now that's interesting. That looks a lot like the table, but it's got the little dog drop on it. It's an utensil. Oh, well, that is strange. I guess. I mean, I'm seeing tea sets and controllers, so device makes a bit more sense, but then, I don't know, tea isn't a device. But I guess what is a device? Let's keep it as utensil. That's pretty easy. Utensil. Just got an extra drop. Sniff? Stinking? Stinky? Again, it's a dog. The big. In Japanese, this would be big instead of a dog on the bottom. That's why it's called Saint Bernard. In the Japanese ones, they always call it a dog, but it's just big. I didn't realise it had been simplified. Saint Bernard lifts his large nose. Saint Bernard lifts his large nose, stinking. Find the stinking smell. Saint Bernard lifts his large nose to find the stinking smell. Saint Bernard sniffs with his large nose to find the stinking smell. Phrase. Dog phrase. Dog. Beast phrase turn into a dog. Whisper the beast phrase to turn into a dog. Whisper the beast phrase to turn into a dog. Whisper the beast phrase to turn into a dog. Whisper the beast phrase to turn into a dog. Whisper the beast phrase to turn into a dog. Whisper the beast phrase to turn into a dog. Cliff. Sun, moon, sun, moon. Dog. The Chihuahua detests whoever pushed him off the cliff. He went so far he saw the sun and the moon pass. The Chihuahua detests whoever threw him off the cliff. He saw the sun and the moon go past. The Chihuahua detests whoever threw him off the cliff. He saw the sun and the moon go past. The Chihuahua detests whoever threw him off the cliff. He saw the sun and the moon go past. The Chihuahua detests whoever threw him off the cliff. He saw the sun and the moon go past. Oh. Many people detest their boss and the ground he walks on, putting them under pressure. Many people detest their boss, especially the ground he walks on, for putting them under pressure. Many people detest the ground their boss walks on, putting them under pressure. Many people detest the ground their boss walks on, for putting them under so much pressure. Cow. 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 Special. Cow is considered special at some temples. Revelation. Keep that as revelation. The cow has a revelation. Hamburger made of what? The cow has a revelation. Hamburger made of what? The cow has a revelation. Hamburger made of what? The Chihuahua detests whoever threw him off the cliff as he passes the sun and the moon. Lots of people detest their boss and the ground they walk on, putting them under so much pressure. Water special. Why do they use that after they just taught me that that means revelation or declares? Declares. Oh, it doesn't declare. Revelation. Drink lots of water with its mouth. Cow. Fast. of water with its mouth. The cow has a dumb regulation. It can drink fast. Makes water with its mouth. The cow has a fast regulation. It can drink vast amounts of water with its mouth. Origin before water before water is clean before it is dirty. Yeah. Wash with water before you get in the bath. Wash with water before you get in the bath. Wash with water before you get in the bath. Wash with water before you get in the bath. Oh, jammed in. This is world or generation. T. Water. Just wash with water before you get in. No, that's not. Yes. Oh, be right back, everybody. I'm just. And we are back, baby. Apologies, that was a while. Just getting some water and stuff. Right. Cow has a dumb revelation. It can drink a vast amount of water with its mouth. Didn't get it. And I've got... Oh, we've still got 60 left. This is taking ages. This kind of reminds me of the kanji for like spinal column. I wonder if that's been simplified in the Japanese version. Let's see. Nope. Oh, this is meeting. Oh, there you go. So that's the one that Japanese use. Okay. It kind of looks like an angry man with a hat. Important meeting must be attended, sun or rain with the umbrella, or they'll have angry devil horns and a shouting mouth. Could be okay. Fit? Yeah. Fit. Cow can fit vast amounts of water in its mouth. Meat, mouth fit. Mouth. Okay, the laughing noise. Okay, I like that. Mouth which laughs a lot means a fit person with consistent ab exercise. Although that doesn't mean fit in that regard, does it? Let's not mix them up. We can help it. It's like clothes fitting, I guess. And get this. Oh, that's cool. Combine. So it's like fitting together. Let's fit together. A mouth with lips fitting together over and over again laughing. A mouth with lips fitting together over and over again laughing. A mouth with lips fitting together over and over again laughing. It's the meeting. Come to the meeting, rain or shine. Boss will be angry with devil horns. Shout at you with his wangy tongue. Pagoda. King. Bull. Jade. Just means jewel in Japanese. It's always jade. Jade, precious stone, or gem. Ah. It's jade. Okay. King always carries around his most valuable jade jewel. The king requests something. Requests a gift, a present. Ball. The king requests you be at the royal ball. Again, I think it refers to a literal ball, so that's stupid. King requests. gift of a ball. King requests a 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 gift of a ball. They'll fit together. Display. King sees the present. The king has played with something, toys since the beginning. Oh. Toy, yeah, okay. King has played with toys since the beginning. Beast King is a lunatic. Beast King is a lunatic. Beast King is a lunatic. The 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 King is an emperor. The Holy King. That's white as in like pure and holy. King requests a ball to play with, a toy to play with even. Fire, emperor, effulgent. Some words I only know from this. Yeah, that's fine. King displays his teeth. Oh. Submit in what sense? To present. Displays his mouth. That is, what is it? Treasure? No. Hole. Yeah, like a plug. That king takes the whole space under his umbrella. That king takes the whole space under his umbrella. Something like that. I think I had something about plugging. Same one. Logic. The king of logic is a computer. This is master of the house, husband or something. Lord. Lord is little drop down. King. Water lord. Beside him. Pour. Light a candle, pour some water on it. I hate that one. Is this a plug? Gold. I should have got that. Looks the same as gold. Copper. Copper looks the same as gold. Gold ladle. Gold ladle. Gold ladle. Go fishing. Angling. This is like angling as in the hobby rather than fishing as in the gold needle. Gold streets, gold four. Nail is metal spike. Say metal spike. pour out the candle. Gold. Inscription. Oops. Gold. Tranquilize. Tranquilize the truth. Tranquilize the truth in someone using the gold. Syringe. I like syringe for that. What's this? Road. Roadway. Roadway. Roadhead. Roadway. Gold. Angling. Catch a goldfish with a ladle. Troll. Spike. Nail. Whoa. Swift crossing. Swift. To the crossing too swift. Fast. To the crossing too speedy. Was hooked by the cops down the road. The crossing too speedy. Was hooked by the cops down the road. The crossing too speedy and was hooked. Crossing too speedy and was hooked by the cops road. Create. Cow creates its own path as it has regulations. That's patrol, right? A river of guards. Ooh, lunatic. Road. Lunatic on the road. Only a crazy person would stroll down the middle of the road. Only a crazy person would stroll down the middle of the road. Only a crazy person would stroll down the middle of the road. Only a crazy person would stroll down the middle of the road. Guide. Car. Army. Chariot. Sequence. Maybe. In succession. Cars on a road come one after the other. Cars on a road come one after the other. Cars on the road come one after the other. Cars on the road come one after the other. Cars on the road come one after the other. Cars on the road come one after the other. Lotus flowers appear in groups. You'll see one after the other. Lotus flowers appear in groups. You'll see one after the other. Lotus flowers appear in groups. You'll see one after the other. Lotus flowers appear in groups. You'll see one after the other. Lotus flowers appear in groups. You'll see one after the other. Lotus flowers appear in groups. You'll see one after the other. A lunatic goes for a stroll in the middle of the road. Front. Front. Sword. Shears. I feel like cutting hair. Shears are one dagger in front of another. Shears are one dagger in front of another. Shears are one dagger in front of another. Cars come down the road, one after another. Transport to the meeting of the butchers. Transport to the meeting of the butchers. Lotus flowers come one after another. Road, meeting of butchers. Consumption of meat has exceeded all expectations. Consumption of meat has exceeded all expectations. Consumption of meat has exceeded all expectations. Each. Shears are basically daggers that come one after the other. Each person of status has one of each tree. Each tree has a similar pattern. 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 Each house. Each person under my roof is treated as a guest. Each person under my roof is treated as a guest. Each person under my roof is treated as a guest. Each person under my roof is treated as a guest. Each person under my roof is treated as a guest. Consumption of meat has exceeded all expectations. The roads are full of slaughterhouse trucks. Forehead. Signed guest book with your forehead. Each guest is required to do this. Head each. In summer, you're hot from the top of your head down to your walking legs. In summer, you're hot from the top of your head down to your walking legs. Water each. What? LA. It's Loki. Bizarre. Does seem to be used for Los Angeles. Okay. Each drop of water in LA seems like a bit of a waste of time. Each drop of water in LA is savoured. Each drop of water in LA is savoured. Each drop of water in LA is savoured. Each tree has a unique pattern. Each person that comes into my house is treated as a guest. Flower, LA. LA has 2 seasons, and the flowers flourish most in the fall. The flowers flourish most in LA in the fall. The flowers flourish most in LA in the fall. The flowers flourish most in LA in the fall. In summer, it's hot from the top to the bottom. In summer, it is hot from my brow to my legs. Mediocre. These clouds superfluous. Water Most profound invention will be that which makes water superfluous. The most profound invention will be one that makes water superfluous. Each drop of water is sacred in my way. Okay, cut off. Chariot, army. Radiance. Fool. Carry. Carry. Since the beginning, the crown was glued to the king's head. Crown was glued to the king's head since the beginning. What about the crown? It's superfluous. Water, crown. Most profound invention will be that which makes water superfluous. Dream. Dust falls from flowers into eyes. Proud of a night with a dream. Dirt. The hole, pit. Whirlwind digs a hole in the ground. Tool. Takai. Tool. Children receive. Enjoy the playground more. Tool children enjoy the playground more. Enjoy. Tall children enjoy the playground more because they won't be bullied. Tall children enjoy the playground more because they won't be bullied. Tall children enjoy the playground more because they won't be bullied. Tall children enjoy the playground more because they won't be bullied. Tall children enjoy the playground more because they won't be bullied. The road carries the army. The road carries the army. Water must be superfluous with the right invention. Ripe. Gross. Let's get the one from that. Two children sitting around the fire. Eating pills. Two children sitting around the fire. Eating pills. Fruits. Two children. Two children sitting around the fire, eating pills. Tall children enjoy the playground. The tallest building crowns a street. Tallest pavilion crowns a street. Look at those tall human legs and a shiny crown. Those tall human legs, shiny crown. Look at those tall human legs and a shiny crown. Look at those tall human legs and a shiny crown. Look at those tall human legs and a shiny crown. Look at those tall human legs and a shiny crown. Capital. Tall buildings, small people. Capital. The tallest pavilion crowns the street. Look at that tall human with their shiny legs. Those tall human legs and a shiny crown. Whew, okay. When did that take? That took like ages. 1.4 hours. Nice. Okay. Cool. That's all for today then. Oh god, that took like 2 hours. Oh, oh no. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. 3 days down. 7 more to go. Oh my god. And that includes New Year's Eve, so that's going to be crazy. We'll see how that goes, huh? We'll have to carve out 2 hours there. Right. Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, stay handsy, stay handsome. You got this, we got this. Let's do it. Bye.